Hi there, welcome to Lush Living. Today's topic is top 3 mobility exercises. So yesterday I posted about could you be too flexible? And yeah, you can. You can be too flexible. Ask any person who has the condition Ehlers down. Woo! It's definitely Monday. Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. EDS. Basically, it's a condition where the soft tissue is actually like almost too overstretched and people are hypermobile, hyperlax, and there's actually a lot of injury that occurs as a result. So yes, it is very possible to be too flexible, but do we really want flexibility or do we want more range of motion? Because I think ultimately we actually want more range of motion because most people are achy or feel tight or feel stiff, and so that's the impetus to think like, oh, I need more flexibility, I need to move. But I don't think they need flexibility, I just think they need some range of motion. So that falls under the category of mobility, because like I said yesterday, do you want to just be able to make a split with your legs, or would you want to be able to control how you get into the split, have some muscular strength behind it, and how to get yourself out of it? So in my opinion, the mobility is actually better for your body ultimately and helps create and sustain sort of like healthy tissues and joints for the long term. So I'm gonna tell you my top 3 favorite mobility exercises, starting with your hands. So there's all kinds of like really fun hand mobility exercises, but because mobility implies that there's like a little bit of strength within the motion, sometimes it's just an isometric of how you're activating the tissues. So I'm gonna take you down and I'm gonna show you what I mean on the mat, if I can angle this without you falling over. So, okay. So if you have some ground or maybe a rug or something soft, something that you can kind of squish your hands into. If you are able to get down on the floor, that would be great, but I understand that many people cannot. But even using like a countertop would work too. But we're gonna mobilize our hands. So what I want you to do is just put your hands on the floor and I will face you any way you can. And I want you to draw your shoulders down, squeeze your elbows straight, and widen your hands like big starfish hands. And I talked about this the other day as well. When you're putting your hands down for a plank, you want your middle finger to point straight ahead, and you want your thumb to almost make like a 90-degree angle. So you've got big starfish hands. So that in and of itself is actually a lot of work for a lot of people. So with that shape, you're gonna slowly lean your weight forward to load your arms, and then gently rock your weight back to back off on your arms. And whether you're standing or kneeling, it doesn't make a difference. You just want to load the tissues in this big spread out starfish hand and then back off. You rock a little bit of weight forward and then you back off. So the second thing you want to do when you're in this position is actively push every single joint of every single finger into the floor, whatever you're pushing into. I picture like memory foam, like you're sinking your hand into the mattress. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm in my nice big starfish hands. I'm trying to make 90-degree angles with my thumbs and middle fingers. The shoulders are down, the elbows are straight. I'm gonna push every knuckle into the floor so that you can't see any light under my fingers. So I'm actively pushing against the ground. That's where the strength is. That's where the mobility is gonna lie. And then I'm gonna rock my weight onto my hands and then gently back off, almost like you're pumping. Press all the knuckles down, feel the work in the hands, and then rock some weight and load those arms. Rock back, you can back off a little and then add a little pressure. Rock it forward, rock it back, shoulders down, elbows are straight, big starfish hands, push the floor away. Woo, and then gently let that go. And even just doing that a few times, you can really feel, oh, my hands feel very different. Okay, so the second exercise is, or movement, mobility choice, is about your spine. So we're gonna take a little walk to the Cadillac, and hopefully you can see what I'm doing. And I'm gonna angle you a little bit up. Whoop. Pardon my cameraman skills. Something like that. Are you gonna lock? Are you gonna lock? Bear with me. Bear with me. Yikes. My apologies. I'm not a cameraman. I'm a Pilates teacher. Okay, that'll work. Is it gonna stay? That'll work. Okay, so you're gonna lie down on your back. Your knees are bent and your feet are flat, and we're gonna do a little twisting. Scooch on down. So you're gonna put one of your hands in the center of your sternum like a blade, and you're gonna lock your chest in position. Move your hand, the other one out of the way, and you're just gonna sway your knees over to one side, but only as far as you can, keeping your sternum really square and center. So here's the mobility, right? Like I'm working to keep my chest square. And then you're gonna use your obliques, not your arms, to help pull your legs and pelvis back to center. And then same thing to the other side. You're gonna twist your knees and pelvis over. You're working to keep your sternum really square, so you've got an opposing force. And then using your exhale, you're gonna drag your waist back to center. And then same thing to the other side, twisting across, keeping the chest really square and center. You're gonna feel even more oblique engagement versus just kind of rolling and spiraling your whole body from side to side. And then same thing, twisting the knees and pelvis over to one side, keeping your chest really square, and then rolling back. This is so bizarre. I'm sorry that you're watching me upside down. I'm not a cameraman. Okay, but at least you understand the mobility portion, right? So there's some counter tension through my upper torso, which is causing my obliques to not only stretch, but strengthen, and I feel very in control of the motion. That's another key element of mobility, is that you actually feel like you're in control. Okay, last but not least, mobility, are your feet, right? Okay, so everybody sort of knows that I love my half dome. It is my favorite piece of equipment. Oh gosh, I'm sorry, camera people. I promise I will work on this in 2020. This will be my goal in 2020, is to work on this. But I'm gonna take my half dome. Can you see it? And I'm gonna step one foot on, and I'm giving myself a calf stretch, right? You can see that. So one foot is up, one foot is down. And then I'm gonna take the other foot and place it next to it. So I'm getting a calf stretch. So this is more stretchy. This is more on the flexibility side of things. And I breathe, 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 breathe. Whoop. I'll go this way. Can you see that better? You can see that foot and then that foot. Okay, so I'm giving myself a stretch. That's great. I'm gonna walk over to the other side. I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side because you wanna be even. So I've got one foot going uphill and one foot going flat and level. Okay, so then the key is that since this is mobility, it's all about using strength and not just stretch to actually, how do I wanna say this? To actually support the motion, not just sort of flop into the motion. So we're gonna do a, negative calf raise. So I'm gonna show you down here. Okay, so here's my half down. I'm in my double calf stretch. And because my heels are starting below flat and level, it's like a negative phase, and I'm gonna rise on up to a positive phase calf elevator or calf raise, and I'm gonna control the way back down. So just going from 0, negative. So this would be flat and level, negative, and then slowly rising all the way on up to a calf elevator. Whoop, on down. Sorry, one more time. Pressing down through the balls of the feet, lifting the heels on up, and then slowly controlling the descent back down. So, my apologies for the camera work, but you've got hand mobility. When you load your hands on the floor, you're gonna actively spread your hands out like starfish and push all your knuckles into the floor. To mobilize your spine, you're gonna lock your sternum and try to twist your knees and pelvis side to side. And then to mobilize your ankles and feet, you're gonna do a negative phase calf raise where you start low and then slowly rise up to high heels and then slowly go past flat and level all the way into a negative phase calf stretch. All right, those are your mobility exercises for today. Try them, let me know how it goes. All right, bye.